Pfizer getting grilled at the European Parliament, and Trial Site News investigative report from Sonia Elijah is used in part of a questioning from a member of the European Parliament. That is the subject of today's episode. And so, from Trial Site News, I am Adrian, and our episode is starting right now. So, Trial Site News investigative reporter Sonia Elijah exposed leaked bombshell emails from the European Medicines Agency, otherwise known as the EMA, and Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine-related confidential documents. Now, her Part 1 and Part 2 expose on these leaked documents were also covered here on this Trial Site News YouTube channel, which I will have linked in the description below. In any case, this caught the attention of French politician and member of the European Parliament Michel Rivasi. And so, at this special committee hearing yesterday on October 10th, she asked several questions in her short time slot allotted based on Sonia Elijah's investigative report to the Pfizer representative Janine Small, who was standing in for the missing in action Albert Bourla, Pfizer's CEO. Now, the questions she asked were as follows. First, why was the threshold of mRNA integrity lowered down to 50% when the vaccine manufacturer themselves stated that the efficacy of the vaccine depended on an intact RNA molecule, and who changed the specification? And secondly, she asked, why has Pfizer forbidden the purchasers of the vaccine to carry out their own independent analysis of the quality of the vaccine doses? Take a look.
In the vaccine itself, and on the 20th of November 2020, before the official authorization, it was seen that there was degraded RNA. It went from 70% to 50%. So my question, why are we having these issues? There's no guarantee. Because we have other rates which might create secondary effects, repercussions. So who changed the threshold? You've always given us data, but not broken down data. So we have to look at the different laboratories where the vaccine is produced. And the last point I'd like to make, which is very important, Pfizer has forbidden the purchasers to carry out their own independent analysis of the quality of the vaccine doses. That's unbelievable.
Now, Janine Small, once again representing Albert Bourla, the missing in action CEO for Pfizer, also took a moment to address the highly unusual action of von der Leyen in using text messages to communicate off the record from regular channels with Albert Bourla, again the CEO of Pfizer. Her answer to this was, well, it was a pandemic, don't you know? Take a look.
But I really do feel I need to keep addressing the comments that has come up throughout this hearing regarding SMS contracts, and obviously Dr. Bourla is not here. And I really want to keep addressing it because obviously at the end of the day, it's actually about the contract negotiations because it's believed that SMSs were used, as mentioned earlier on, to create a bilateral conversation. And actually, again, I really need, it's important to stress to everyone here today that the process for awarding the contract was following a very robust process from both Pfizer side and the European Commission side. So I understand that Dr. Bourla is not here, but I am here to let you know that that did actually happen in a very thorough and robust manner.
So now let's shift focus here a bit, and let's talk about Pfizer's CEO Albert Bourla. After all, he was originally scheduled to be at yesterday's EU Parliament COVID panel. Why didn't he show? What happened? Well, in an article from Politico, they reported that Pfizer's chief executive, Albert Bourla, pulled out of an appointment to testify before the European Parliament Special Committee on COVID-19 after an audit report into the EU's vaccine procurement strategy published earlier back in September that raised new questions about contact between Bourla and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The committee's chair, Belgian member of European Parliament Kathleen van Bremt, told Politico when asked that she, quote, deeply regrets the decision taken by Pfizer. Now, the report by the European Court of Auditors, the watchdog group that exposed this, found that von der Leyen had been directly involved in preliminary negotiations for the EU's biggest vaccine contract for up to 1.8 billion doses of the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine, which was concluded in May of 2021. This was a departure from the negotiating procedure followed with other contracts, where a joint negotiating team made up of officials from the Commission and member countries conducted exploratory talks. It should also be noted that the Commission refused to provide records of the discussion with Pfizer, either in the form of minutes, name of experts consulted, agreed terms, or other evidence, which in of itself is deeply concerning. Transparency is key. You gotta have it. It is also noteworthy that in part 1 of Sonia Elijah's report on the leaked EMA emails, it revealed that Albert Bourla also lobbied Peter Marks, who just so happens to be the director of the Centers for Biologics Evaluation and Research, or the CBER, at the FDA. In any case, instead of the CEO of Pfizer showing himself for a frank and transparent discussion to the members of the European Parliament, we got Janine Small, Pfizer's president of International Developed Markets. Now, she did promise to get back to Ravasi's critical questions formally in writing. Good to know. We're going to get a formal written response, rather than Albert Bourla answering directly. Members of the European Parliament, as well as the general public at large, deserve answers from a company that has made billions and billions of dollars from their most successful product ever. I'm sure we would have preferred to have it come from the mouth of Albert Bourla himself, but for now, this will just have to do. And of course, as ever always, we here at Trial Site News will continue to keep an eye on the situation as it continues to develop. And that, my friends, will bring our episode to a close once more. As always, thank you so much for joining me on the program today. From Trial Site News, I am Adrian, and I will see you all next time.